What if that tightness in your chest that comes on without warning during the day wasn't just tiredness or a passing worry? Often, this discomfort seems to invade your body without explanation, leaving an uncomfortable sensation that makes it difficult to even take a deep breath. I know how hard it is to live with this silent tension that never seems to go away. Waking up tired, wanting to talk about how you feel, and, even so, feeling a lump in your throat or your heart racing. These are moments that many live in silence, believing that it is something normal with age. But there is a way to alleviate this state, a simple and natural way to help your mind find peace, even on the most difficult days. I discovered that small changes in daily habits, often unnoticed, can transform the way your body and mind respond to these sensations. If you want to learn safe tips, effective techniques to relax, and be part of a community that understands exactly what you are going through, sign up now. Together, we can take care of this feeling, bringing more lightness and peace to your life. Feeling that tightness in your chest as soon as you wake up, the insomnia that persists night after night, or the tension that seems to stick in your shoulders is not something to ignore, much less to attribute solely to aging. These signs are a true warning from your body and mind asking for attention. They do not appear out of nowhere or as a natural part of aging. They are important messages that indicate that something is out of balance. Many believe that these symptoms are normal for those who are over 60, but in reality, they are usually linked to an internal state of constant, even silent, worry. This state makes the body alert, as if it were always preparing for a threat, even if that threat does not exist. It is as if, instead of resting, the body remains vigilant, making it difficult to relax and sleep peacefully. Imagine your nervous system as a radio that should tune in to soft, relaxing music. However, because of this internal alarm that does not turn off, it gets stuck on a frequency of noise and interference. This constant noise prevents you from feeling calm, even when everything around you is calm. It's a difficult cycle, because the more the body reacts to this alarm, the more it stays on, amplifying the discomfort. The good news is that there is a way to disconnect this warning signal and regain a sense of peace, as long as you are willing to understand and act consciously on what is fueling this tension. If you have ever felt something similar, or still have doubts about what your body is trying to tell you, stay with me. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss the next steps on this journey. Press 1 if this sensation has already happened to you, or 5 if you want to better understand what you are feeling. We are on this journey together. When the mind is agitated, the body reveals subtle signals that ask for attention, like a silent invitation to slow down. This feeling of tightness and restlessness is not just mental. It reflects an imbalance that we can alleviate with small gestures. A simple 30-second adjustment, which can be done at any time of the day, brings an immediate feeling of lightness and relief, as if a dense cloud began to dissipate. This brief movement helps to release accumulated tension, providing a necessary break for the body and mind. Mental health experts with extensive experience in supporting mature people point out that this initial practice can be a valuable starting point for those seeking greater tranquility. It does not solve everything, but it is a first step that signals care and respect for one's own rhythm, allowing a gentler connection with the present. Have you ever experienced something similar? Type in the comments. I will take care of myself from now on and share this decision to embrace your well-being. When performing this gesture, it is common to feel an internal opening, as if the weight that seemed invisible was gently relieved. This sensation not only provides immediate comfort, but also a rediscovery of one's own autonomy, reminding us that the body is a precious ally, capable of recovering its harmony with small cares. Imagine your body as a garden that, even after storms, blooms with the gentle touch of the sun and the breeze. This moment is the beginning of this care, a faint light that illuminates the path to more serene days. In the next step, we will deepen this movement, bringing more lightness and presence to your daily life, continuing this journey of reconnection and balance. Sometimes the most important change begins with something almost imperceptible. Maybe you've noticed that your nights are a little more peaceful, that waking up isn't accompanied by that usual jolt, or even that your steps seem firmer when walking around the house. These small changes, however small they may seem, are powerful signs that your body is beginning to respond gently to your choices, showing that internal harmony can be restored. It's essential to recognize that each advance, however subtle, represents a great victory. When we give ourselves space to listen to what our body wants, respecting its time, we pave the way for a recovery that respects our history and limitations. Patience is key to welcoming these initial responses and strengthening the partnership between mind and body. Imagine that your body is sending you a silent thank you, as if to say, "Thank you for finally listening to me." This delicate connection symbolizes a reunion, an alliance that is built with care and affection. It's the beginning of a lighter coexistence, where fear and tension no longer dominate your space. Now, I want to hear from you. Type 1 in the comments if you've already noticed some improvement, or 5 if you feel like you're just starting out on this journey. Your participation is very important so that we can grow together. If this content helped to shed some light on your journey, subscribe to the channel. Each week, we walk side by side, sharing steps that strengthen self-care. Your subscription also helps to spread this message to other people who need a break. In the coming moments, we'll delve deeper into this experience, discovering how to increase this feeling of relief and cultivate the balance you so deserve. Often, when you have trouble resting or notice your heart beating faster for no apparent reason, it is common to associate these sensations with age. However, there is a silent factor that goes unnoticed in everyday life: frequent exposure to artificial light, especially at night, such as that from cell phones, televisions, or bright lamps. For those who are over 60, this habit can be a real trigger for the anxiety that insists on setting in. When the body receives this intense light after dusk, it understands that it is still time to be alert. Imagine a lighthouse that never goes out, even when the ship should be anchored. This constant stimulus tricks the internal clock, making it difficult for the nervous system to naturally shut down. The brain is in a state of readiness, as if something were always about to happen, keeping the body in an almost permanent state of tension. This situation directly interferes with the sleep cycle, making rest superficial and fragmented. This error, although very common, is not the result of carelessness or lack of will. Most people have never been taught to recognize the impact of this exposure to light on the body, especially at a stage in life when emotional balance is already facing natural challenges. Waking up confused, feeling tired in the morning, tightness in the chest, and jumps at the slightest noise are real symptoms of this silent overload. They reveal a body that, despite being tired, is unable to fully relax. What if the restlessness that accompanies your nights is not just a consequence of the weather, but a continuous alert that your body emits without you realizing it? This latent tension may be linked to details so subtle that they go unnoticed, but that weigh heavily on your daily well-being. You wake up feeling unexpectedly calm. Your chest no longer tightens, your mind seems calmer. But is this peace lasting or just a temporary respite? Often, momentary improvement can be deceiving. It is like walking on seemingly safe ground, where the silence hides invisible traps. Anxiety may be dormant, but it has not truly disappeared. This feeling of relief does not mean definitive recovery. The body and mind follow cycles, where moments of serenity alternate with episodes of tension. Breathing still carries old patterns, and internal or external stimuli can rekindle discomfort without warning. It is a natural process, the result of the interaction between the nervous system and emotions that remain unresolved. It is essential to understand that these ups and downs do not indicate personal failures. Relapses are not defeats, but signs that the body is learning to trust again. Healing requires patience and consistency, not isolated victories. Your effort to maintain practices that promote balance is what strengthens this confidence, even when the path seems uncertain. Allow yourself to recognize progress, even if it comes in small, irregular steps. The journey to serenity is not a straight line, but a steady, sometimes slow movement that respects your pace and your needs. And so, in the silence between difficult moments, lies the opportunity to transform care into a habit, building a firm foundation that will support your future tranquility. Even in moments of tranquility, many people maintain a silent pattern that blocks real progress in recovering emotional balance. A subtle but frequent behavior is the tendency to avoid any emotional discomfort, pretending that everything is fine, even when internally there is agitation and restlessness. This attitude, common among the elderly, ends up reinforcing anxiety because the brain perceives this denial as a threat, keeping the body on constant alert. Clinically, this mechanism is called experiential avoidance. By trying to suppress uncomfortable feelings, the nervous system remains in a state of tension, making it difficult to rest and naturally restore itself. It is as if the body were a garden that, instead of accepting the changes of the seasons, is constantly watered with anxiety, preventing the flowers of serenity from blooming. By avoiding discomfort, the mind creates an invisible prison that limits healing. Imagine the body as an old clock, which needs to be adjusted and cared for delicately, but with constant attention. If we ignore small noises or failures, it does not stop working, but it begins to lose precision, slowing down time and confusing its hands. Similarly, the pattern of avoiding discomfort keeps your nervous system out of balance, even if it feels comfortable at the time. This internal resistance is not your fault. It is a natural response by your body to protect itself from perceived threats. The challenge is to recognize this pattern without judgment, understanding that true change comes from acceptance, not fighting against what we feel. What if, instead of running away from the unpleasant sensation, you could learn to embrace it, creating space for your body to find a new rhythm? Improvement begins to show, and with it comes a feeling of relief. However, it is at this delicate moment that many elderly people make a mistake that can reignite the emotional and physical discomfort that once seemed under control. This phase requires extra attention, as the body has not yet fully recovered its natural balance. The most common mistake is hasty trust, which leads to an unconscious reduction in essential daily care. When feeling less tension, some people return to old patterns, whether by ignoring the body's subtle signals, increasing the pace of activities, or abandoning practices that support emotional stability. It is as if, after recovering from the flu, someone exposed themselves to the cold wind. The appearance of improvement does not mean that the body is ready to face new challenges. It is absolutely normal to feel frustrated when, after a period of tranquility, the symptoms return or intensify. This oscillation is not a failure, but an expected reaction that can be reversed as long as there is persistence. The momentary absence of the body's messages does not indicate that the cycle has ended. On the contrary, it is an invitation to increase vigilance. Your body is opening up a gap, and the choices you make now will define how you will feel in the coming days. Therefore, it is essential to adopt an active preventive stance, seeing the moment of stability as an opportunity to consolidate progress and not as a sign that everything is over. Imagine a wound that seems to have closed but still needs a bandage to protect the sensitive area. Likewise, constant care is what maintains the balance achieved and prevents relapses. It is at this point that the line between a temporary improvement and a lasting recovery begins to be drawn, requiring loving and constant attention so that serenity can finally be established. If you've come this far, it's because you've decided to listen to what many avoid: the subtle call of the body before tension becomes a scream. This journey has already revealed how small gestures and care can alleviate the weight that seemed inevitable. Now it's time to see discomfort not as punishment, but as a light that indicates where balance has been lost. Imagine restlessness as a delicate bell that rings to warn that something inside you needs to be reorganized, not to scare you, but to awaken new attention. On days when discomfort doesn't manifest itself, remember that it's in this space of calm that you cultivate strength for difficult moments. What you do when the emotional pressure calms down is what defines the serenity of the following days. Take care of yourself with kindness, vigilance, and constancy, like someone watering a plant so that it always blooms. If this message touched your heart, comment "calm" to celebrate this new stage of conscious care. And tell me, press 1 if you have ever felt that this internal discomfort wanted to teach you something, or 5 if it still seems like an insurmountable obstacle. Remember, sometimes a simple gesture is enough for the whole body to trust its own rhythm again, rediscovering the peace that seemed lost. You may have begun this journey feeling trapped in an invisible whirlwind, with a tight chest and a restless mind. Now, having come this far, you have a calmer outlook, a presence that begins to welcome each sensation with kindness and respect. Your body has always known how to speak, even when it seemed silent. Today, you have found the space necessary to hear its subtle messages, to understand that there is no true relief without this careful and constant listening. Transformation does not come from quick solutions, but from the daily partnership with yourself, from the courage to face discomfort without running away, allowing time to reveal new rhythms and possibilities. Imagine your body as a garden that has gone through long, difficult seasons, where the flowers have wilted in the face of turbulent weather. But even in the driest soil, there are seeds that wait patiently for the light, ready to sprout when they receive care and attention. Just as dawn dissolves the dark night, your being also prepares to be reborn, finding a path of calm and renewal that only a loving presence can build. Each step taken is a drop of water watering this new life. Each silence welcomed is the gentle breeze that awakens hope again. If this message touched your heart, share it with those who need to feel this silent peace. And if you wish to continue cultivating this connection with your essence, sign up here. This is a space where care and understanding flourish, and you will never be alone on this journey.